Shorties.
Hi, Shorty.
Fingers crossed, StreamYard's being a little bitch tonight, apparently. Very frustrating when we're professionals here. I'm fucking professional.
She's a fucking professional. No goddamn it.
Miss Shorty, you're muted. Miss Shorty, you're muted.
Fuck, I was.
Daring, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fate breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Trial watching, trials and tribulations. It's Camp Shorty calling all nations. What are you drinking? Shall we skip this part? Left or right-handed? Shit, she slid it to the start. She's a fucking professional. Yo, goddammit. You're muted, what? I'm daring, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fate breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time. She's a fucking delight. Psychology corner. Let's learn about stuff. New Miss Shorty music. Calling their bluff. Best chat, best community. We've got the best mods. A safe, supportive sanctuary full of fun and love. Rock out with your cats down. Curse all you want. And here at Camp Shorty, we even say God. She's a fucking professional, you goddammit. You're muted, what? And daring, it's iconic. Cheese breaks, fate breaks, staying hydrated. It's Shorty time, she's a fucking delight. Hey, Shorties, what's doing, y'all? Get in here, Shorties. Let's fucking go. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. Camp Shorty. She got that merch power. She got that merch now. Get that Miss Shorty merch how? Get it from the Miss Shorty merch shop now. On my YouTube.
Moose are dicks.
Hi! I forgot to put myself on the stage. Hi, Shorties. It's like, hi, good to see you. Oh my goodness, what am I doing down there in the corner? Hi, Shorties. Hi, it's good to see you. I think the dogs know that we're going live because I laugh when she comes up with that cute little baby Shorty. Hang on, wait, let me just fix this. It's not right there. Can't see a thing, but my glasses on. Oh my God, you two. There's no more treats. You guys are just going to have to love me just because you love me without the pigsy part. Hi, everybody. I had a quick outfit change for psychology. Excuse me, Buster. Sir. I've got my Camp Shorty therapy tee on, size small. I can't remember what color it's called, like a pale blue color. Love. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, put this back like this. Hi, Buster. Buster goes, where's the pigsies, though? Hope Oh, whoa. What just happened there? Some weird thing. Hang on. Oh my goodness, you two, you're killing me with this shit. Hi, Brit. Good to see you. Butterflies here. Hope 8 Fears here. Hi, it's good to see you. Poppy. Oh my God, they're so excited. Simmy's here. Guys, I just put, I've got, oh, whoa. Hey, look, my that's creepy. My tattoo just disappeared with the green screen. I've got creases on my skin from the top I was wearing. Bit too tight. Anyway, who else is here? Stephanie's here. Therese is here. Britt's here. Hi. Shelley's here. I know Miss What the Fuck's here. I saw Carrie. Yes. Mike's here because people are saying hi to Mike. Mike, I put your name in the draw, which incidentally we're going to do in a couple of minutes. So we didn't do the Miss Shorty merch raffle draw. That's a mouthful. Last weekend, because there were no lives last weekend. Sorry about that. But last call, any gifted memberships, buy me a coffee, PayPal, Cash App. Oh my God. Super chat, super stickers. That. Thanks, Miss What the Fuck. So, and you can pick something, but we won't do it just yet. Remind me. I'll put that over there for now. Oh, goodness gracious. Welcome to Psychology Corner, everybody. I will continue to say hi. Did I say hi, Shelley? Hi, Shelley. I will continue to say hi as people come on in. Lainey's here before she's going to go out for the night. Rachel's here. Hit the like on the way in. Yes, all the YouTubey things. Replay crew, hi. Hi, thank you for coming along after the fact. Everything will be timestamped down below for you to scoot through, but I don't think you want to scoot through any of this because it's going to be amazing. But if you would like to watch the live chat replay on your handheld device, your iPhone, your Android, your iPad, your tablet, they're all like on par. It's easy peasy. All you do is go to the little few dots in the top right of the comment tab, and it will give you the option to swipe left and either or hype it, like it already, watch the live chat replay, and leave a comment. Do the quiz. We're going to do a quiz. There'll be quizzes. I presume they're probably already there, but quizzes. Few different options for you to work out, if you're not already aware, which archetype best describes you. Free quizzes. And so replay crew, I'd love you to do the quiz that's linked in the description box below and tell us your thoughts on archetypes, which is what we're talking about tonight. Heather, thank you so much. And hi, by the way. Oh my goodness. I've only got 2 or 3 more pink ones left. Oh, God, wrong pen as well. Why am I like this? Thank you so much, Heather. Did I see there? Let me write it, and I'm going to bring our beautiful friend, producer, bestie, amazing, like just Miss What the Fuck is the tits. Bring her up in a second. Oh, it's going in the big thing. It's going in the actual vase. Watch me knock that off and break the whole thing. Don't do that, Lisa. And Mary Flynn got it. Amazing. Hope you're doing well, girl. No. Okay, let me bring up my best ever sidekick, Ride or Die. Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been forever, and we never talk either. We must talk more often.
We must.
So, I think why don't we drop in the chat for folks. There it is. Wow. Chat will be like, no, it's not there yet. And then, no, it will already be there. They're like, what is this link in the chat?
That's right. I know. I was like on the ready. I was waiting. I was like, I'm not going to put it in until we know that. And then, there'll still be a delay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We're going to, Mike, you do not need to study. We're going to study together. In fact, this might come as a surprise to some of you, but I also haven't studied. And so I've done this archetype quiz a couple of times in the past, and I'm fairly certain I recall which archetype best describes me. However, we, Ms. What the Fuck and I, are going to on screen do this quiz and get for me, get my results. And then Ms. What the Fuck has like possibly the best ever presentation. And that's a big call because they're all fucking amazing. So and then we've got a couple of videos to watch, which but mostly that. So chat, if you want to click on that link, you don't have to do it now if you don't want to, but it might resonate with you more. And you do the quiz. It takes about 5 minutes, Miss What the Fuck, tops?
Yeah, about 5 minutes. It's a pretty quick quiz. And just so you know, it is a free quiz. At the very end, it will ask you for your name and email address. And then you can unsubscribe afterwards. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to, it doesn't email you the answer. It literally just, you put your email address in. And I mean, you don't actually have to put a name. I think I just put the letter A in there for me when I did it. I just kind of faked it just to see what would happen. And then it just immediately pops up the answer. And I didn't even get an email afterwards. So anyways, there's that if you want to take the quiz alongside with us and see what you end up with.
Heather, I promise you there will come many a time when I will still say, Heather, fuck. But for now, I'm all proud of myself. So shall we pull that up on screen and I will answer. I'm not going to, spoiler alert, I'm not going to say which one I think I am, but if it's not the one that I think that I am at the end, when the result comes through, I will absolutely say, oh, that's weird. My things have shifted. So basically there's 12 recognized or understood archetypes as per Rach. We just dropped it in the chat, but yeah, Ms. What the Fuck just dropped it again. It's underneath your comment. There are 12. Carl Jung. So Carl Jung, acclaimed psychologist from the 1940s and 50s, worked out that there was basically 12 characters or archetypes amongst humans that, while you might find that a couple of them resonate with you a little or somewhat, that generally most people's personalities or character fall into one of these 12 archetypes. So I'm going to do the quiz right now with Ms. What the Fuck. Let me change myself from being a circle, and so we can see which one I am these days. Good God. First, I've got no chin, and now I've got that's a callback from the last stream. And now I'm going to put myself on full display. We love that. All right. Okay, so let's do it.
Move yourself up a little bit, Lisa. You're behind your watermark.
Am I?
Yeah, on YouTube, I'm looking at you.
Oh, God. How about that? I'll move you up too. I hate when things are uneven. Am I? Oh, wait, you can't see that. I forgot that. No, I've moved it now. How about that?
It hasn't happened yet on YouTube.
Oh, of course.
There you go. Okay, that works.
Wait, did you not do the drawing, Lainey? Good question. Shall we do the quiz, then do the drawing while people are getting caught up on the quiz, and then we'll go into the presentation? How about that?
Yeah, let's
Remind
do that.
me, Lainey. Let's do that. But I've got it right here. Definitely. Okay, take the quiz.
Okay, here we go. All right. What would your ideal Saturday night look like?
Not the first one.
Yeah, go out dancing, rollerblading, pinball, something fun. Cuddle up with a nonfiction book you've been dying to read. A slow 6-course meal at a fancy restaurant. Making major moves on your side business. Lighting a candle, creating a clean and cozy space, meditation, and a bath. Cook and bake for your family and friends. Or honestly, whatever my partner wants to do.
Definitely not the last one. What the actual fuck? Not just because I don't have a partner, but excuse me. I'm going with cuddle up with a nonfiction book I've been dying to read. That's the most applicable. Yes.
Okay. All right.
You can be on page. You do it in your own time, butterfly. That's cool. We're going to just go through mine, and then that way, by the time by the time where I'm done, you all will probably be done. Scoot through the thing yourself, and then that's why we're doing it now, so you all have time to do it. Yes, go next one.
Okay. As a child, you were the girl who was inquisitive, always learning something new, possibly ahead of your peers, and more independent than not. In general, you were a good kid who followed the rules. Or adventurous and very dependent, definitely not a mommy's little girl. Quiet but self-sufficient, didn't draw attention to herself and didn't need too much direction or help. Loved attention, playing dress up, playing with makeup, and maybe even a little bit of a flirt from an early age. Introverted, cautious, more of an observer, was more of the good little girl. Always playing and taking care of your baby dolls, eventually babysitting once you were old enough. Or loved playing house and dreamt about getting married.
Again, not the last one, but no shade, just not me. I'm the quiet but self-sufficient, didn't draw attention to herself and didn't get much direction or
This one?
help. Yes, CEG, my most recent. So Micah, this is very sexist. This is the one. Ms. What the fuck? There's also a.
Yeah,
Can
let
you
me
do a
pop.
one that's? There's one. This is the one that. There's one that's for all, not female related based. Sorry, Micah. We forgot you falls out, balls out kind of a guy. I ordered that for you last night, by the way. That T-shirt.
Yes,
There it is. So there's a new one in the chat now that can cover. So for the more manly guys.
It is a very generic one. It's a very good one too. And just to be honest, I got the same one, the same answer for all the ones I took. Just so you know.
No surprise there, Micah. Okay.
What resonates with you most? Be honest. Sometimes I'm a people pleaser and I struggle with victim mentality. Sometimes I'm cold to others and quick to anger. Sometimes I'm a little critical. I can also feel disconnected from my body and emotions. Sometimes I isolate myself and or struggle to stand up for myself. Sometimes I struggle with having close girlfriends and may find myself judgmental of other women. Sometimes I find it hard to say no when people ask for help. I love to feel needed, but I can lack boundaries and cause myself burnout. Or sometimes I make choices without considering the consequences. Example, buying things that will leave your bank account empty at the end of the month.
I mean, honestly, is there an all of the above? I think
I love you so much, Lisa.
If I'm being honest, it's the first one.
The first one?
I do. I spend a lot of. I do spend as much as I'm all about new me who this and I'm a strong independent shorty. I do at the end of the day still think poor me, life isn't fair, boohoo.
Okay. What's the most important thing for you in life right now? Marriage, children, pleasure and sensuality, knowledge and teaching, inner peace, having fun, enjoying my time on the earth and feeling joy, or building my business, my career, my empire, or fighting for a cause.
There's a few that are close-ish, but I do think knowledge and teaching.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
All right. Now, when it comes to work or your career, what do you resonate with most? Work is important to me, but secondary to my marriage.
Yeah. Stephanie, blah, blah, blah. No one holds a candle to you, my wife.
Or I'm a hard worker, organized, strategic, and logical. I want to make something of myself. Or I lean towards professions in the helping space, teaching, nursing, social work, etc. My career is very important to me, but more important than that is my purpose and pursuits. It's ideal if my work and life purpose align. My work needs to be creative and more independent. I don't do well in a competitive corporate environment. My work needs to engage my emotions and provide variety. I prefer something in the arts and dramas or where I have a close, intimate relationship with those I work with, i.e., therapist, teacher. Or I need to do something creative, psychological, or spiritual. And if I can't, I'll probably bounce from job to job or maybe settle in an easier role.
So this one's kind of tricky for me because my work, my peasant work, is honestly I enjoy it and I'm good at it, but it's just to pay the bills. So I think in a perfect world, I'd go with the third option, the professional in a helping space, because that's where I am here and now. And if I'd been able to continue on with my Bachelor of Criminology and Criminal Justice, that was where I was wanting to take my actual paid profession. Buster, hang on a sec. So yeah, option 3. I'm just going to let Buster out, but I'm still listening, okay?
Okay. All right. Which of the following do you think is your biggest strength? I am goal-oriented, courageous, independent, and can persevere through tough times. I can also be outspoken and bold when I need to be.
Tick.
I am
Could there be any more? Okay, keep reading, but still.
I am strategic, practical, organized, and love to
No.
learn.
Yes. Okay. Keep reading. Okay. I'm not very organized, but that's only because.
I'm very
Oh no,
knowledgeable.
not. I am, but no. There's too many
Okay.
influences in number 2.
I have very powerful intuition and inner knowing. I don't let my ego get in the way of my peace and happiness. I am extremely loyal and faithful. I'll be with you until the very end. I am really good at nurturing and tending to others. I always had a strong maternal instinct. I am grounded and reliable. I am youthful, receptive, flexible, creative, and have a deep understanding of the world. I am naturally magnetic. I'm very in touch with my senses and my creativity, and I can create passion and depth in my life.
Oh, this is a tough one. My biggest strength.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Either one or either the first or the last one. Oh, shit. The first one.
Okay. What statement?
Yes, interrupting you for a second to see chat. Looks like they're starting to get their results. So I love that. Love that. Amazing.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Okay. What statement resonates with you the most? I love to learn and help others with my knowledge. I get great satisfaction from learning new things I'm interested in. I have a purpose on this planet and I need to pursue it with vigor. It's more important than anything else. I love to feel needed. I love to feel useful and of service. I love to nurture and comfort. My inner peace and tranquility is the most important thing to me. Hustling is not for me. I need time for stillness and creativity. I want to be a powerful matriarch. I want power and authority, but in a softer, feminine way.
I'm Miss Shorty, goddammit. Okay. Rachel says she really appreciates you reading this, Miss What the Fuck. It's much easier to process. I strongly agree, yes.
Okay, and then I need some intensity in my life. I need passion, chemistry, and intimacy. My focus in life is feeling those moments to the fullest and enjoying life. Or I can be a softer girly girl, but also have so much depth and life within me. Although on the surface I am easygoing and lighthearted, I am so much more capable than people give me credit for.
Again, I think the first or the last one, but I think probably the first one.
Yeah.
Pipped at the post.
What?
I said pipped at the post. I said pipped at the post. That means you just wins. Just at the very, like it's a horse racing thing, I think. God damn it.
What the fuck was that? I don't think that's a
God.
thing.
It is a thing, Shorties. Hi, Nick. Did I hear Nick? No, nice, Christy. Right, yeah. Okay. Carry on. Keep those creative juices flowing. God damn it.
Okay.
I miss Shorty. God damn it.
Okay. All right. What do you look for in a partner the most? There needs to be chemistry and passion between us. This is the most important.
Not existing. Sorry, Karen.
Stop. My partner needs to be hardworking, respected, and a leader. My partner should be my equal more than anything, and someone who will be okay with my independent spirit. My partner needs to support my alone time and need for inner peace. My intuition guides me with my partners and relationships. My partner is ideally powerful and with high status, but needs to be very devoted to me and our relationship. My partner needs to have the ability to be a great father more than anything. Or I want to feel like my partner takes care of me and is my protector. I want to feel safe and secure through him.
I mean, yes, but either 3 or 4, and I think probably 4, because above all else, God damn, do I need my solitude. That's 4.
Amen. All right. Who do you identify with most? I did not know some of these people. Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, who is bold,
No,
leader.
no. I'm going to say Glinda the Good Witch already. Obviously, toss.
Soft, nurturing, and comforting. Okay.
Am I? No? Maybe I'm just, it's too late.
Too late. You went on your instincts.
Yeah, man.
What is on your vision board? Lots of money, success, career achievements, children, a family, a loving home and environment, an engagement ring from your partner, and a beautiful wedding. Balanced chakras, gaining inner peace, and a deep connection to something greater, traveling to yoga retreats, speaking to a large audience in person or online, more knowledge you want to gain, and practical items that you want/need in your life. Hobbies you want to start or get better at, creative pursuits, fun travel, or anything having to do with fun, beauty, or love.
I just like a dishwasher.
That is a practical item that you want or need in your life.
Yeah, I would have said that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Princey says I don't have a vision board. Me either.
Me
but
neither.
if you were to want one, if you would want one thing in your life, this is the kind of
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. In general, what is your relationship like with other women? Sometimes I lack good female friendships. I do have friends, but I can also sometimes be judgmental of other women. At the end of the day, I always choose my partner over girlfriends. I have a wide circle of friends, but I am sometimes mistrusted by other women, or other women seem jealous of me. I have great relationships with women, and am very comfortable with other women. My best friends growing up were more likely very strong personalities. Sorry, I had a pass her by.
Hello, Mr. What the
I have great relationships with other women. I never get jealous or competitive with other women. I tend to be the mom of the friend group. I have a few close friends as opposed to a wide circle. I'm a good listener to my friends' issues and provide good advice.
Wait, keep going.
Okay. Although I can have good friends, I can also struggle with close female friendships too. I may lean towards trusting men more than women, or I'm a huge ally for other women. I tend to have good female friendships.
Either the very last one or the third last one that I said tick to. Bookie, I feel you. Bookie said she was so autistic. Yeah, that one. And she overthinks everything. Yep, go that one.
Okay.
Bookie, yeah, man. What could I
All
improve on most? Nothing. I'm perfect. I'm a fucking professional. Joking.
Okay. I could be more loving, compassionate, and empathetic. I could be more connected emotionally and intuitively. I feel like I lack passion, eroticism, and intensity in my life. I could have better boundaries and put myself first sometimes. I could be more practical, less impulsive, and think about the potential consequences of my actions. I could be more assertive and independent. I could use direction and commitment in my life. I could have a more well-rounded life outside my relationship. Sometimes I need to make time for my friendships, my passion, and myself. I could be better about expressing my emotions to others and not isolating myself. I know I can be content alone, but I need to remember that community is important.
Oh, this one could be the hardest one ever. Because all of them will have applied at some point in my life, and probably some of them do. I guess I don't have a relationship, but I probably could. I don't know, the second last one or the last one?
This one or this one? Is that right? Or this
No,
one or this one?
that one or that one. Better expressing my emotions and isolating myself. I do tend to go into a little bit of shutdown mode, but it's hard because you guys, you beautiful, my best friends, I can still express it. I think probably the well-rounded one, the second last one, because even though I don't have a relationship, I don't really do anything other than work and live stream. So
Yeah. Okay, last one.
Oh my God.
How do you feel about your sexuality and sex in a relationship? I am very in touch with my sexuality and my natural magnetic qualities. Sex and passion is very important to me in relationship. I sometimes feel disconnected from my body and sexuality. Sex is definitely not the most important thing in a relationship. For me, sex is more about the physical than it is about the emotional intensity and passion. Sex can be really fun and enjoyable, but it's not the highest priority in my relationship or life. I can greatly enjoy sex when it happens, and it can be a deeply intimate act, but I'm also perfectly content when I don't have it. My sexuality needs to be cultivated. It doesn't come naturally to me. In marriage, I view sex as part of my role as a wife. I don't have that crazy of a sex drive. I would honestly rather cuddle than make love. Or at first, I felt oblivious to my sexuality, but through experience and time, and with the right arousal, I can be very passionate and orgasmic. I made it through.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Damn it. I did so good.
You did so well. It's the one that says, I'm perfectly content when I don't have it. I have not had sex in about 3.5 years. That's fine with me. I do not care.
Okay. Here we
Like,
go.
I love it when it's there, but I don't care. Okay, here we go. You don't have to type my whole title. That's fine.
I'm not. I'm just going to put A.
Shelley is proud of you. You did grease the wheel on that one with your I'm not quite there yet. I'm almost there. In the last stream. You primed us. Okay, oh my God.
You're with me. You're a sage like me.
Things have changed in my life. I used to, okay. So this isn't what I expected. But it makes sense where I am now in my life. The last time I did this test had to have been, I don't know, a decade ago, maybe 20. I don't know, sometime in the distant past. And I was the healer or the magician. What do you call it in your presentation?
In the presentation,
The
it's
mystic?
something totally different too. It's
What's
like
it?
not even in the presentation.
Oh, but what was the one that that was an alternative one that Healer was in was called the Magician, right? Is
Yeah,
that
something like
in?
that.
Yeah.
And another
So
one.
anyway, that's interesting. Mike is the Maiden.
Oh, I love you, Micah. Micah, I love you.
Okay, Steph's the Mystic. So everybody's. I love this. We've got some really. So this is great. How fun is this? So what does it say about me?
All right. So you are naturally mature, wise, and
Oh,
strategic.
69.
Resourcefulness, resourcefulness, practicality, and organization come easy to you. You love to
Oh,
learn and are probably a very quick learner at that. You are the woman who can offer excellent advice and counseling. Teaching may also interest you, less from a nurturing perspective and more from a perspective of sharing knowledge. You tend to be ruled more by your head than your heart. But don't forget about the power of your heart and your intuition. Also, don't be afraid to express your emotions and feel them deeply. Remember, you don't always have to hold everything together, and you don't always have to follow the rules. Sometimes you need to let your wild side out. I love it.
oh, I feel really mature now.
You are. Hey, Mike is a sage too. Okay, Mike, Lisa, and me. Who else is a sage?
Yeah, one's in the chat. Okay, no, we'll do we can't do a poll. People have been posting their results in the Discord also. So,
Oh, yay.
yes, and also Mike O'Day. I don't know Steph's wife of mine. If you can convince Mike to be a Discord kind of a guy, that'd be handy because that's where we carry things. And that's for anybody else who's here also. If you're not already in our Discord, shoot me an email and I will. Christy's a sage. Send me an email and I'll send you a link to the Discord. That's really cool. Okay, I'm a sage. Wow, sage. That's a different sage. Right. Hey, now, per Laney, we need to do the merch draw. So,
I'll put
yes.
this thing up if you're ready.
I will still fumble it because I'm such a sageful wisdom soothsayer.
Ready?
I'm ready. As ready as I'll ever be.
Well, now it gives me almost an indecent thrill to say it's time for me Shorty's merch raffle draw. Can I have a drum roll, please? And this week's winner is...
Hollie. Hollie.
Yay!
Hollie. That just reminded me how I went, I do that noise all the time. It's just, that's the default noise for me. I do it at work and then every time I do it, I'm like, wow, I really do sound like that. I forgot to put myself on the stage. Hollie, yes. Choose something, girlfriend. Let me know. There's new stuff to choose. Yay. Congratulations, Hollie. Thank you, everybody, for your support and your participation and your sense of humor and thanks, Hollie. Congratulations. All right. So we did that. Now, chat buckle up because Miss What the Fuck has got a presentation for us, including, I'm not going to spoil it.
All right. I will bring it up on the stage now and do that.
We're so tiny.
We are tiny.
Should I make us circles or smaller or square? I might make us squares so we don't encroach. Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. So this is all going to be all of Carl. How do you say his last name?
Jung.
Carl Jung's 12 archetypes. And you'll see that there are 4 that are kind of highlighted because there are 4 core archetypes. So out of the 12, there's 4 of them that are highlighted a little differently. So I'm going to start going through and I'm going to also try and look at chat at the same time because I'm really excited about this and I've been working on it for a hot minute. So, okay.
Pause for one moment. Just want to say Jesus Gomez or Jesus Gomez. Hi. Yes. Welcome on in. Thanks for joining. We just all did the and one of the many archetypes quiz. So and we're just starting the presentation. So thanks for coming on by.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's go. So the first of the core archetypes is the self, represented here by a royal figure, which is one of the representations often used for the self. And you can see who that's based off of.
She looks familiar.
She does look familiar, doesn't she?
I'm just looking at the back door, but carry on.
While I was making this and I saw the representations, that there was a representation for each type, I was like, I wonder how this could be displayed. And I was like, well, these all kind of could sound like tarot card names or something. And I was like, I wonder if I could make like tarot cards of Lisa. I was like, I bet I could. And I kind of did. So that's what you're in for, y'all. Okay. So this self.
Not me. It wasn't even my idea. It was, I mean,
okay, so the self is a core archetype, and it represents the totality and wholeness of the psyche, integrating both consciousness and unconsciousness aspects. And it's the ultimate goal of individualization.
Individuation. Pause. Individuation is, remember how when I talk about narcissists and how they come about because they need to separate themselves from the mother, and that process is called individuation in the psyche, which is Carl Jung as well. So that's that same idea of becoming a separate individual, as it says there, a complete and unified individual, separate to the mother, and feeling like one is a true individual. So that's linking in. So here we are in Psychology Corner. Carry on, Ms. What the Fuck.
I love that you can say that word, because like I saw that word and I tried to say it so many times. I was like, nope, I'm gonna suck at that, and I'm just gonna like put it out there and see what happens. So, and I also love.
And yet still, I bear the brunt of the macrame, chameleon, gorilla, tortilla of it all.
Yep. It's because I make the clips. Okay. The lifelong. Okay, so this archetype is often symbolized by a circle, square, or mandala, and can manifest in dreams or myths as a divine or wise figure, which I think Lisa is that. So I'm just saying. Okay. So going on to the next one is the shadow, which I love this. This is also Lisa.
And actually, in the video that we're going to watch, both of them, they're both by the same creator, really lovely. She talks about like the light side of each archetype, and then the shadow or the dark side of each archetype. So this is really, really interesting. I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. And so that's
me. So looking devil.
I know. I love it. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
And that's okay. It's better than the Simpsons, Shorty. That's
it
for
is. Sure. It is. So this represents the repressed unconscious aspects of the person that are often perceived as negative, such as unacceptable desires, instincts, and weaknesses. And integrating the shadow is crucial for psychological wholeness, but its contents can manifest as projection onto others or be a source of personal conflict if they're unacknowledged. So
that's really cool, isn't it? Which like I talk about that, exactly. Princey says we all have a dark and a light. So there's nobody's all bad or all good. Everybody has, some people just have more lightness and brightness and goodness about them than others, and it's all sort of a ratio. But unless you acknowledge your darkness and sort of come to terms with it, your demons, if you will, and do the shadow work, you're never really going to be able to accept and embrace that darkness, and the the more you understand your darkness, the better you can harness and appreciate your goodness, your lightness. So I love that.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then we have the persona. So this is another core archetype. This is the social mask that an individual represents to the world. And it's a role or identity adopted to conform to societal expectations and mediate between the inner self and the external world. And so I just gotta say, like, doesn't it kind of feel like that mask that we all put up is, especially those of us that are autistic, we're always masking, right? And ADHD too, right? Any neurodivergent person always puts up a mask at some point in their life.
And we've sorry to interrupt you, but we've also talked before about how we all have varying degrees in our mask that we present to our immediate family versus our work colleagues versus our extended family versus our circle of friends. They're probably all going to be pretty similar if we're a well-adjusted, emotionally mature person with varying degrees of, I don't know, more professionalism or more relaxed, more of a sense of whatever it is. They're usually, it's only the issue people who are but a husk and they don't have much behind that mask where there's no substance to them, which calls back into every one of our psychology corner conversations, really.
Yeah. And so Jung warned, he says it's a necessary tool for social interaction, but he warned against over-identifying with the persona as it can lead to a distorted sense of self and create a compensatory shadow archetype containing repressed aspects of the personality.
And I think we can know that about people who don't seem to know themselves, and that might just be that. And I think if it's something I've watched myself, or where I know, I think it might have been that again, that Dr. Karen Mitchell from about a month ago. I might be wrong, but particularly mothers, actual mothers, women or caregivers who put everything of themselves into their raising of their children and don't have an identity beyond that, then or like me, for example, when I was a bodybuilder, that was my whole identity. And when I was no longer a bodybuilder, or when your children, fly the coop, leave the nest, sometimes people, particularly women, are a little bit lost because they don't really know who they are beyond that identity. So I think that's important to have that. And that goes back to that question you asked me in the quiz about what I could work on more. What one could work on more. So yeah.
Okay. And then this is the last of the core archetypes, and this is the Anima.
I read that as anus. Sorry.
Damn. All right, so this is the Anima / Animus, and again, this is technically your face, but it's a little more stylized. It took me a couple iterations to get to this, and Simi mentioned the yin yang symbol, which this is often symbolized as that symbol. And so this backup. So this is a symbolic of for the unconsciousness feminine side of the man, which is the anima, and the unconscious masculine side of the woman, which is the animus, respectively. So in Jungian, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect.
Jungian.
Perfect.
Okay, psychology,
Symbolically, an anima is linked to the unconscious soul, relationship, emotion, and sensuality. You just want me to say sensuality, yin. While the animus is associated with consciousness, spirit, reason, power, and action, yang. Integrating these archetypes is a journey towards wholeness, where the anima helps men connect with their feelings and the animus helps women find their sense of direction and meaning. I love that.
Thank you. Some of these words I'm like super not used to, and so I'm like struggling over them. And for everybody, I had never heard of any of this until Lisa said, "Hey, we should do something on this," and I was like, "Okay."
See, here's me teaching and learning you. I'm learning you some stuff. I'm learning. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And particularly because there was some calls for us to do something a bit more positive and uplifting than some of the stuff I've been bogging us down in. I think this fits the bill perfectly, right?
Yeah, this is super interesting and just different. And like,
Yeah.
I love this experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one is my favorite picture of all time. The hero.
Now, I love that picture. Who was it in the chat? There was a hero, I think. Who was the hero? One person? I can't recall. When they drop it in one, or I think I remember seeing somebody came up with hero. Maybe that was just Micah tooting his own horn. Balls out, balls out.
Micah was the maiden. I remember that.
Of course. Okay, I'll read this one for you because you've been reading a lot.
Thank you.
So the hero represents the ego's journey towards consciousness, involving the courage to face and overcome internal and external obstacles to achieve self-awareness and personal transformation. I love it. This archetype is driven by a need for strength and a desire to prove its value, but can also become a savior complex or remain immature if it doesn't eventually evolve beyond its initial focus on self-assertion. So that's where there's positives and negatives, light and dark in each of the archetypes, and this is what that description is talking about. So you kind of need to evolve these things.
Yeah. Okay. And then also you look so beautiful in this one. So pretty.
Yeah, it's like how when I use filters to take my selfies. I do look beautiful. And then IRL it's Lisa Simpson.
Stop.
Shorty Simpson. Lol. Micah is secure in his maidenhood. I love that for you, Micah. Represents both the nurturing, so the mother, this is the mother, represents, so this is Simi. Who else was Simi? Who else was the mother? So the mother represents both the nurturing and destructive aspects of the great mother, goes beyond the personal biological mother to include all maternal, I was just clicking on this, all maternal figures, nature, goddesses, and inanimate objects that symbolize life, fertility, and abundance. It also includes the negative, terrible mother aspect associated with death, devouring, and the negative potential of the feminine. Ooh, wow.
Like you said, dark and light to everything, which is fascinating.
Simi, oh my God, Princey, we will get to the Queen. Don't you worry about that.
Okay. The next one is my least favorite picture, but it kind of had to be done. So I had to stick to the gimmick. There had to be one. I'm sorry.
I don't mind it. It's anything's better than Lisa Simpson. So the father represents the masculine principle of order, law, and consciousness, as well as the capacity for providing guidance, protection, and direction. The archetype can manifest positively as a wise and powerful protector, or negatively as a destructive, tyrannical figure, reflecting a duality of the intellect and will. Butterfly, are you saying to the picture or to the description, or both?
It could be both, honestly.
I like her. She's got father, you have great hair and great posture.
Excellent. All right. And then we have the child, which is just an angelic baby Lisa getting towards the heavens. Just,
So cute. So cute. The child represents both the innocence and vulnerability of childhood and the potential for future development. It symbolizes the original wholeness before ego differentiation and the potential for the integrated self or wholeness achieved through the process of individuation. Can manifest as different subtypes like the divine child or the orphan, influencing how an individual perceives life and is connected to creativity, wonder, and vulnerability.
Okay. Maybe I spoke too soon. There's another one that's a little bit harsh.
Okay. I'm
Look,
like,
I stuck to the shtick of using your face on
okay.
everything.
She's got great hair again.
Exactly. You maintain your beautiful hair.
If only I had beautiful hair, but thank you. So, the wise old man or woman, representing wisdom, meaning, and spiritual insight from the collective unconscious. They appear as mentors and guides, personifying the self by connecting the individual's ego to deeper knowledge, often during periods of transition. The wise old man can appear as a magician, teacher, or priest, while the wise old woman is the great mother or a helpful crone figure who embodies both light and dark aspects of women. Wisdom. Looks like my good run of reading is run out.
Okay, I'll do the next one.
Yes, thanks. Yikes.
Okay.
Woos. Is that my heavy breathing? Oh.
I think we trade off on the heavy breathing of the oh dear God. Okay. Here we go. The rebel. While rebel is a modern archetypal label, it is closely related to Jung's concept of the outlaw, an archetype that challenges the status quo and seeks to disrupt what is not working. This archetype is associated with a core desire for revolution or revenge, a fear of powerlessness, and the use of disruptive or shocking tactics to achieve change. Its strengths include a radical, nonconformist mindset, while its weaknesses include the risk of becoming reckless, violent, or vengeful.
Interesting. So even all of this light and dark stuff, and good or evil, or the lightness or the shadows, does come back to my sort of it's a commonly agreed upon theory that there's that fork in the road in one's childhood development or formative years that can, depending on a whole bunch of contributing factors, one can veer towards kindness and being an empath, and or having some degree of empath characteristics, or going the other way towards the dark personality, the toxic sort of narcissistic leaning person. So they're all from the same, like, we're all humans at our core, right? We've all got the potential to be any of those things, depending on our set of circumstances, brain chemistry, upbringing, nature, nurture, all of those things. Very interesting.
The innocent. The desire.
Sorry, pause. My glasses aren't quite strong enough, obviously. And I looked at that and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with her boobs, until I realized she was holding a lamb. Yeah. I was like, what is she going boobs out? Is that like full, like, I don't know, like windsock boobs? I'm not sure. Anyway, yes. So right. The innocent, the desire for goodness, simplicity, and paradise. It is characterized by optimism, purity, and a naive belief that the world is a good place where everything will work out. Key traits include trust, faith, and a desire for safety, while its main weaknesses are naivety and a lack of awareness of danger, which can lead to manipulation or disappointment. So interesting. I guess that can sometimes be a young neurodivergent person, right? Maybe not as we get older and older, we're more and more aware that there's a whole lot of betrayal and disappointment and the potential or propensity to be manipulated and disappointed by other people. As we get older, I think we often have some pretty harsh awakenings to that, but
yeah. Okay. The lover. You look beautiful, Lisa.
That's definitely the most likeness.
I mean, they're all your likeness, to be fair. All right. A powerful force driven by the desire for
Oh,
intimacy.
sorry. Do you want me to read this one? I didn't mean to pause and like leave you out hanging in the wind. You're fine. You've already read the most sexy stuff there is. So.
You can go for it.
Okay. A powerful force driven by the desire for intimacy, deep connection, and passion, extending beyond romantic love to include any deeply loved pursuit or person. This archetype is characterized by intense emotion, sensuality, and creativity, with a core motivation of building meaningful relationships and experiencing life's pleasures to their fullest. Its shadow side can manifest as a desperate need to please or a false persona, and a negative extreme may lead to obsession or a loss of self. And I guess that's some of those questions where it said, I'm happy to do anything so long as it's what my partner wants to do, or I'm just here to serve my husband or my partner. Those questions riled me. But yes. Interesting.
Right. Okay. This one's us.
You go, it's yours. You own it.
The sage represents a search for truth through knowledge, wisdom, and introspection. Sages are driven by a core desire to understand the world and are motivated by finding and sharing knowledge, with their biggest fear being ignorance or being misled. They are often portrayed as mentors or guides like Gandalf or Yoda, and their core traits include wisdom, intelligence, and a deep analytical ability. I'll take Yoda.
Wise we were.
Okay, so there's one left, and if you haven't seen yours yet, it's because there is, when I was going through and trying to find what the archetypes were, I found that there was a big difference across the internet of what exactly the archetypes were. And so what I found is that from the original to what people use now has been modernized and changed. So what I ended up doing was pulling the most common used ones, and then pulling that together. So if you're not finding the one that was used on that quiz that you took, then it doesn't mean that you're not one of these ones. It just means that it's using a different name, but it's all the same exact
characteristics.
It's the same characteristics. Yes, exactly. Just using a different name.
Like, for example, I think that the old woman man is actually the one that what I used to be, the healer, comes in under, I think.
Probably, yeah.
And I think that might also be the mystic or the magician.
Maybe, yeah. I'd have to look at them like side by side again. I sat there and I actually took like 4 or 5 different websites and I like put them in a big spreadsheet because I love spreadsheets. Are you shocked? I have a big spreadsheet called Archetypes, and then I put them together with their descriptions and figured out what they all were and then connected them to make that. Yeah.
But then that's why I can't understand why you and I are both the sage, because that is not me. That is not me. Like, not me. So
Pope gets it. Spreadsheets.
I love them just if somebody else does them. Love them.
Okay, all right. So then last one that we have on here is called the Jester. This picture was so hard for me, y'all. I sent Lisa options because I said, look, I am struggling because no matter what I do, I'm going to make you look like a clown. And I don't want to be responsible for that. So you have to pick. So I made her pick the one.
I picked oh
my God, Christy, me too. I too. I'm certified I'm certified as an expert. Okay.
Oh, so that's one of your court expert things you can go to court for. I love that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And yes, I think I like this picture. So the Jester, also known as the trickster, is a pattern of behavior focused on living in the moment, challenging convention through humor and bringing joy. Its core design is to have a great time and lighten the world, and its greatest fear is being bored or boring others. The Jester's talent is joy, but its weaknesses can be frivolity and a tendency to avoid responsibility.
Oh, Simi, I like that. Shorty the gymnast. Okay,
That's me.
that's
If only I
it.
could still touch my toes. No, I can just.
That's the presentation.
Amazing. I love the presentation. I love it. I love the thank you. And Simi wants to do Shorty tarot cards. That wouldn't be a fourth wall thing, but I'm sure there's something out there. Bravo, Ms. What the Fuck. Thank you so much. I love it. You did so much work. And and in doing all that work, you learned a lot for yourself, about yourself, and then shared with us. And not just the immediate skills and learnings, but also the whole making Miss Shorty into all of the things. So Princey says I'm the entertainer in Myers-Briggs. Yes, I think that's maybe also Myers-Briggs. Yes, I think that's where my healer thing came from as well. That's what I can't even remember. God, I just talk out of my ass. What we might even be able to do is just do a bit of a cross reference and see, because that one that you sent me is what the fuck, that screenshot that was when I said the healer and you sent it came under magician. Which are there other ones of those where it says other known titles that are the same archetype with different titles? Yeah.
Put that in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. That'd be great. Okay, so we have a video. Now, Micah the Maiden, we have two videos. The first one focuses on female archetypes. There's 7. And I can't recall, but I have a feeling that some of the names are the names are going to be the same as in the quiz, because the quiz that most of you took, I think all of you took, was the quiz from this creator. Her name's JILLZ. She had this as in her description box. So what she talks about here now will absolutely come up in the video. So shall we play? It's a 28-minute video. She's really fun and lovely. I like her. And then the next one is the male archetypes. I think there was 4 in that. So there's one missing, because 7 and 4 makes 11, and it's 12. But details. So Ms. What the Fuck just popped that link in there. So if you wanted to learn more beyond the video and what the quiz told you, that's another one. It tells you some of the alternative headings of the archetypes. Buffers.
There are 7 different feminine archetypes, and they all have their own unique strengths and potential weaknesses, and are all magnetic and beautiful in their own way. So let's figure out which one you are and what that means for you. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is JILLZ, and I talk about things like feminine energy, self-improvement, and wellness for women. So if that's something you're into, you should absolutely hit that red subscribe button below and join this wonderful community. So there are 7 different feminine archetypes. There's the maiden, the mother, the lover, the queen, the huntress, the sage, and the mystic. These archetypes were originally brought to life by Carl Jung, but they've kind of been adapted to fit our more modern life. Now, I think we all have at least a little bit of each archetype within us, but we usually tend to really resonate with like 1 or 2 or maybe 3. We can also embrace different archetypes during different periods of our life as well. And while discussing the feminine archetypes and figuring out which one you are, it's definitely super fun, but this can also be a very powerful exercise. Understanding the different feminine archetypes is a super powerful way to tap into the different parts of yourself and learn how to embody a specific archetype or embody the strengths of that archetype when you need it or when you want it. So yes, although you may really resonate with one or maybe a few, we all have the ability to tap into all of these archetypes within us. So in today's video, I'm going to share the characteristics of each archetype, their potential shadow sides, because they all have their own potential weaknesses, some examples from women in pop culture and media, as well as how to embody this archetype more, you know, how to embrace some of that inner lover or inner huntress within us. But before I begin, I actually made a quiz that you can take to figure out your dominant feminine archetype. So I will link it below. Definitely go take that quiz. It probably only takes like 5 minutes. That will again tell you your dominant feminine archetype, although you can definitely embody more than just that one. So either pause this video and go take that quiz now, or just take the quiz at the end. But either way, I highly encourage you to watch the entirety of this video so you can understand all of the different archetypes, hear the examples that I give, and learn how to better embody each one. Also, a great book rec to learn more about this topic is a book called Goddesses in Every Woman. I, of course, will link it below. So let's finally get started. First is the Maiden, and she is portrayed by the goddess Persephone. So the Maiden is youthful, receptive. She can oftentimes be a little bit more girlish. That doesn't mean that she can't also be mature though, but she has more of that youthful, almost childlike curiosity and wonder. She's creative, usually more flexible and adaptable. She's empathetic and usually a little bit more sensitive as well. She also tends to be a little bit more innocent and sweet, or at least she gives off that vibe. And she might also give off that like take care of me kind of vibe. However, some maidens can be a little bit rebellious as well. Not all, but some. So although she has all these wonderful qualities, her potential weaknesses is that she may lack commitment. She might lack direction. She might be a bit codependent or a people pleaser. She might embrace some of that victim mentality or get taken advantage of, or be possibly a little bit too childish and kind of live in her own fantasy world. But usually there's some sort of event, and it's likely some sort of struggle that the maiden has to go through in her life that kind of causes her to mature, kind of forces her to step into the more mature maiden. And if a maiden can grow past her potential shadow side and mature, she can be an incredibly powerful and capable woman. And through that rebirth process, she can become very intuitive, much more creative, and much more wise to the world around her. And she'll be able to actually see her capability and power, because a lot of younger maidens, they tend to doubt themselves. My favorite example of a maiden is honestly Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. She displays this transformation so well. You know, she's youthful, fun, innocent, but in the beginning, almost a little bit like helpless or oblivious. And when she gets dumped, she first wallows in her pity, she kind of victimizes herself a little bit, but then she steps up. Her being dumped forces her to step up. She gets into Harvard and becomes a lawyer.
What, like it's hard?
And through that process, she is totally transformed. You know, she finds a better man. She becomes so much wiser, more intuitive, more confident, more capable, and she just becomes a very successful woman. Daphne from Bridgerton is another really great example of this maiden energy. She's youthful, innocent, sweet, but also, you know, a little bit naive, and she's very oblivious to her sexuality. You know, the Duke kind of has to guide her a little bit in this area and help her to bring it out. It's because maidens are often very oblivious to their sexuality when they're young, and they need a little bit of support to help tap into that side of themselves. But through Daphne's marriage and becoming a mother, you can see she's really grown up a lot in season 2. She's wiser, she's way more intuitive, she's capable, and she has this amazing soft leadership qualities. And she was one of the only people to originally notice the whole chemistry and spark between Kate and Anthony. A bit of a different example though, a maiden who's a bit more rebellious, is Serena van der Woodsen from Gossip Girl. You know, she's magnetic, playful, fun. She's carefree, and she has some of that rebellion in her, but she also kind of seems very innocent at the same time. Some other examples of maidens are Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City and Emily from Emily in Paris.
We all wanted to be Serena van der Woodsen.
Now, if you want to embody more of this maiden energy, bring out that childlike curiosity and wonder. Let yourself relax, soften your body. Let yourself be more receptive. Let yourself be taken care of. Let yourself be more flexible. You know, you don't have to control everything. Bring out that inner wonder and innocence and playfulness, and see every day as a new little adventure. You know, don't take things too seriously. Let yourself live a little bit, and let yourself empathize with others and feel your emotions fully. That is how you tap into your inner maiden. Now let's move on to the mother, and she's portrayed by the goddess Demeter. So as you might expect, the mother has a very natural, strong maternal instinct. She's nurturing, she's comforting, she loves to feel needed. She loves to help others. She's truly very fulfilled by that. And many of these women, probably not all, but most of them usually have a strong desire to have kids and become a mother themselves. And that is a very important part in their life. So you might really enjoy cooking for other people, nourishing other people, or just being there emotionally for other people. And these women likely feel like they're the mom of the friend group. You know, they're the ones always checking in on everyone. You know, if one of your friends drank too much and they're throwing up in the bathroom, the mother is the one who's holding that girl's hair back. The mother is really grounded. You know, she has this strong earthy energy. She's usually very approachable, much more down to earth, and naturally just has that comforting energy. You know, she just makes people feel good and feel safe. And these are the women who oftentimes are very gentle and soft, but they can be fierce and protective when they need to. Some examples of the mother in media are Glinda the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz.
I'm Glinda, the Witch of the North.
You know, she's beautiful, nurturing, has this soft, comforting presence. Also, the mom from Forrest Gump, you know, she's willing to do what it takes to protect her kid and take care of her kid, and she has this soft, grounding energy. Monica from Friends, she's another example. She's more of the mom of the friend group. Also, people like Jennifer Garner, Reese Witherspoon, even Angelina Jolie, they all give off strong mother energy. Now, the shadow side of the mother is that she loves to nurture, she loves to feel needed, right? So sometimes she can lack boundaries, and she can give and give and give to others and leave none for herself. She can get burnt out. She can struggle to say no. So although giving to others and helping others can be an incredibly fulfilling thing for the mother archetype, it can also be draining if they have no time for themselves, or if they're not being nurtured too, you know, if they're not being taken care of as well. Another potential shadow side of the mother is that she can sometimes suppress her feelings, her emotions, her needs, and kind of bury it down because, you know, she's usually more focused on other people than herself. So if a woman who really embodies this archetype is upset or sad or struggling or angry, instead of talking about it and expressing her feelings, sometimes she will bury it down and then become a bit passive aggressive about it or resentful about it later. And lastly, they might have that mothers know best type of personality where they know the right answer to everything. They know how to do things the best. They know what other people need. And they can sometimes be a little bit controlling. And so they can unknowingly give off the message to either their kids or other people in their life that they aren't capable or what they're doing isn't good enough, because she has this tendency to sometimes take over. You know, she's trying to help, but sometimes you have to let people do things on their own, even if you think that you could do it better. And this can help prevent you from getting burnt out too. Now, if you want to embody more of that mother archetype, nurture, comfort others, be more approachable, be welcoming, cook a delicious meal for your friends and family. Let that love you feel toward others, let it radiate from you. Let other people in your life truly feel it, and take care of the people and things you love. And this does not just have to be kids. This could be your friends, your pets, your plants, your house, your community, even yourself. Many women will naturally embody this archetype when they become mothers and when they have, you know, a newborn baby, especially when they're fresh out of the womb. You know, they're very dependent on you and your life kind of revolves around them for a little bit. And you really have to step into that mother role. So I'm not saying to have a kid to turn on that mother archetype within you, but what I am saying is that usually having children will naturally bring out the mother archetype in every woman. Next is the lover, and she is embodied by the goddess Aphrodite. The lover is sensual, slow. She's present in everything she does. She's magnetic, and she kind of radiates sex appeal even when she's not trying to. And she's usually much more in tune with her sexuality as well than other women. She's passionate, usually very creative. She's extroverted, she's expressive, possibly a little bit dramatic, and she loves love. She's moved by love.
How is she going to have any time for being in love?
And she can fall in love pretty quickly and pretty easily, but with that same regard, she can also fall out of love pretty quickly and easily. The lover's main priority is feeling her way through life and experiencing everything to the fullest. You know, she wants heightened pleasure and she really wants to enjoy her days. So this energy is very captivating and it captures the attention of both men and women. And although she is more in touch with her sexuality, that doesn't mean that she necessarily acts on it, but it does mean that she's got a fire going in there, you know, it's burning. And this can be a bit uncomfortable for the lover woman sometimes because, you know, on one end, society says that sexuality and sex appeal is everything, but on the other end says that embracing your sexuality and being in tune with your sexuality is not okay. So the lover can sometimes struggle with this balance of like, how do I express myself? Marilyn Monroe was a typical lover, and she definitely embodies some of that maiden energy too, though, for sure. But Marilyn Monroe was slow and sensual and present in everything she did. You know, she was very expressive with her face. She was captivating and magnetic. And even just like by the way she walked, she was a lover. Jessica Rabbit is a lover. You know, that sultry voice.
Please? Simi, what? What doing what? What are they doing?
I think she means the inserts of the...
Oh, Ms. What the fuck is good, but she's not that good.
That
would be it. That would be no. I mean, in terms of how much time and energy you have to give. I mean, step up your game for God's sake. No, I'm joking. Good time. How beautiful this young woman JILLZ. I've never come across her channel before. I'm going to see about some of her content because I think it looks really good. Maybe Ms. What the fuck, could you drop her channel in the chat, because she looks lovely. Hope says I have a wall dedicated to Marilyn's pictures. Yeah, I obsessed over Marilyn as about a 10-year-old. I watched a lot of her movies when I was 10 in my Madonna era, Madonna and Marilyn. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's absolutely
beautiful. I don't mean beautiful looking, although she obviously is. I just mean her Marilyn's struggles, her life, everything resonates with me very, very deeply. Her story, yes, Hope. All right, thank you, Ms. What the fuck. And then Ms. What the fuck just dropped JILLZ channel into the chat. This video we're watching, by the way, has almost 1 million views. It was 3 years ago, I think. So that.
Her outfit, the way that she carries herself and holds herself, and she just radiates sexual energy. Sofia Vergara gives off a lot of that lover energy. You know, she's passionate, can be a little bit feisty. She's beautiful, and she kind of knows her power and knows how powerful her beauty is. She's very expressive too. Samantha from Sex and the City, another great example of a lover. You know, she's very in tune with her sexuality, and that's a very important part of her life. Now, some of the potential issues that a lover can have is that they might focus too much on pleasure and living in the moment and what feels good. And although sometimes that can be a great thing, if that's what we do all the time, then that can lead us to make some really poor choices. You know, this is the type of woman who might spend way too much money on something because in that moment they want it, even though it means their bank account will be totally drained and totally empty before the end of the month. They don't necessarily think about the consequences of their actions, and they will likely learn some painful lessons in life and learn from some uncomfortable situations that they have accidentally created. But it's important that the lover actually learns from them and uses these lessons going forward. The lover might also struggle with long-term relationships because to them, passion is everything. You know, it's the most important thing in their life. And in long-term relationships, what can sometimes happen is that that passion can ebb and flow. You know, it depends on what you have going on in your life, or you're really stressed or whatnot. But this is very hard for the lover woman because she always wants that magic. So if she feels like she's not feeling that anymore, that might cause her to suddenly break up with her partner and move on to someone new, create that new magic, that new spark, that new passion. And then this cycle can happen over and over again. So for the lover, if you want a successful long-term relationship, you have to make sure that that passion stays alive, and you have to work to keep that passion going and not let it fade away. If you want to embody more of this lover archetype, slow down, be more present, be more sensual with everything you do. You know, swing your hips when you walk, wear red lipstick, eat a delicious meal slowly and savor every bite, and just feel that love and passion within you. You know, that love and passion is in there in every single woman. For some women, it might come more naturally than others, but it's in there. Get more comfortable with your sexuality. Don't shy away from attention. Let yourself live a little bit and embrace pleasure. Now, obviously, there is a balance to this in life, but not 100% everything in your life has to be practical. Life is meant to be experienced and fully enjoyed. All right, let's move on to the queen, and she is embodied by the goddess Hera. So the queen is incredibly loyal and committed. She just naturally has that regal, elegant energy, and she can be a really good leader. But one of the defining aspects of the queen is that marriage and having having a partnership is very important to her. You know, she wants to have her king. She wants to love someone and be the backbone of her partner, and that is very fulfilling to her. These women are naturally very confident and are very good at taking charge when they need to. And in a relationship, they tend to look for a partner who, you know, is powerful and has high status and is a leader and kind of embodies that king energy. And like I said, the queen women, they're very, very loyal, and they expect that same loyalty in return. So in a partnership, they desire a high amount of loyalty. Now, because marriage and a loyal companion is so important to her, sometimes that means that she doesn't feel as fulfilled in her single years. A wonderful example of this queen energy is Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, of course. You know, she just radiates queen energy. She knows how to take charge. She is confident.
Sorry,
I
wasn't paying
naturally
attention.
to her. Also, Emily from Gilmore.
So is Princey still here? This is the queen. I wasn't paying attention. So this is, I'm glad, yes. So not the negative connotation that I think Princey was inferring from it. She felt a bit uncomfortable with that archetype, but here we are. Sorry, Ms. What the fuck? Can you go back to the start? I wasn't paying, not to the start of this little bit. I wasn't paying attention. God damn. About there. Thank you.
They tend to look for a partner who, you know, is powerful and has high status and is a leader and kind of embodies that king energy. And like I said, the queen women, they're very, very loyal, and they expect that same loyalty in return. So in a partnership, they desire a high amount of loyalty. Now, because marriage and a loyal companion is so important to her, sometimes that means that she doesn't feel as fulfilled in her single years. A wonderful example of this queen energy is Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, of course. You know, she just radiates queen energy. She knows how to take charge. She is confident. All of that comes naturally to her. Also, Emily from Gilmore Girls, you know, Rory's grandma, she is very fulfilled as a wife. She takes her role as wife very seriously and is very loyal to Richard, her partner.
Fine. Let me do that.
And she is just naturally very regal and elegant.
Gilmore, you are one classy broad.
Also, Nancy Reagan, Ronald Reagan's wife, she was a queen as well. Now, the potential shadow sides of the queen we can see in some of these examples as well. And again, these are just potential weaknesses, but sometimes the queen can be a little bit judgmental, especially of other women, and they can also be a little bit jealous sometimes too. And we can see both of these traits in both Blair and Emily. She can also be the type of woman where, like, if you cross her, like, you are gonna get it.
Revenge.
And like I said many times, she is very loyal, which is a great quality of hers. But sometimes she can be loyal almost to a fault. Like, she can keep her loyalty to someone, or for her husband, for example, even when they don't deserve it anymore, even when she should let it go. The example for this would be, you know, if a husband cheats, the queen woman might get angry at the mistress as opposed to the husband. Sometimes she may struggle with long-term female friends too. You know, female friends might not be as important to her as they are for other women. That doesn't mean that they're not important, but oftentimes they're just not as important. You know, she may be the type of woman, especially if she's younger, like in high school or college, where she gets a boyfriend and then she immediately drops all of her friends and stops hanging out with them. That is one of the potential weaknesses of the queen. So if you are a queen, don't forget about your girlfriends, because they are very important. These women might also struggle with low self-esteem if they're not in a relationship, because it is usually so important to them. And a little tip, if you are in a relationship, be sure to not lose your sense of self. Make sure that you're still doing things just for you, and you know who you are as your own individual woman. So if you want to embody some of this queen energy though, practice your confidence. You know, don't be afraid to take charge when it feels right, or even when it feels uncomfortable too. Keep your chin up, even dress more regal and elegant. All of these things will help. And let yourself be committed and loyal to the people in your life that love you and that deserve it, and see the beauty in that deep loyalty. Now let's move on to the Huntress. And she's very different from what we've talked about so far.
I'm just going to say, you know, when I wear my blouses, and at the moment I'm wearing merch a bit, but when I wear my blouses, I am channeling that queen energy. When I prefer to wear them for court, it makes me feel more powerful and legit. So that's what JILLZ was just saying about channeling your inner queen in ways you can go about. Yes, Miss Waterman?
That's me when I have my, well, I haven't been able to wear them in quite some time because of health stuff, but I had my special boots that I would wear with,
Yes.
they were the best boots. And I actually had them in several colors. Oh, those were my power boots, you know?
Yes.
If I had an interview or if
Like,
I had like something important going,
yes.
I had to wear those freaking boots.
Yes. Like, what do they say? Dress for the job that you wish you had, not for the job you have. And same. Like, if you're it's me. If you're schlepping around in PJs and full comfy clothes all the time, you could start to feel a little bit like sloppy in yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also the trade-off for comfort. And also I don't have any power clothes anymore. But yeah, I find that really interesting. Like, and she's talked about already, you know, channeling your maiden a little bit, even though it might not be your sort of main archetype, by sort of finding the joy and the wonderment in life. And in the world around you, or channeling your inner lover by being a bit more mindful and sort of considered and aware of yourself and savoring things. I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
So the Huntress is embodied by the goddess Artemis, and she is bold, courageous, independent, adventurous, and very goal-oriented. She's a woman who has little interest in pleasing other people just for the sake of it. You know, she's not a people pleaser, and she knows what she wants in life. And sometimes she can come off as a bit stubborn, but she's usually not very stubborn. She's usually just very determined and focused and knows what she wants. Huntress women are usually very passionate about the causes that are important to her and have a deep desire to make an impact in the world and fulfill their purpose. And although they may definitely still want marriage and children and all of that, it's usually not like the highest priority in their life. Or if they do want that, it's something that might come later in their life. A lot of Huntress women feel like they want to live their life first. The Huntress can also be very competitive and focused and resilient. You know, think about Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games. She's a Huntress. She is bold, she is adventurous, and she is focused. Also, Kate from the newer season of Bridgerton, she is a Huntress. You know, she is out riding her horse alone in the middle of the night. Now, as the season progresses, you can see that Anthony kind of brings out the inner lover in her. You could see that through their chemistry and their passion and that spark and them making some, you know, maybe some bad decisions. But at the end of the day, she still very much has this strong, independent Huntress energy. Wonder Woman is another example. Miranda from Sex and the City, you know, she was very goal-focused. And for the Huntress, her goals are usually like her highest priority in life. Gloria Steinem is another great example of the Huntress. She was a very big leader in the femininity movement and had a strong passion and purpose and focus in her life. And that's another quality about the Huntress. They usually are very big or outspoken or passionate about women's rights or being an ally to women. So some potential shadow sides though is that sometimes she can be a little bit emotionally distant or aloof, or she might be a little bit oblivious to the emotions and feelings of others, not very empathetic. You know, she might come off as cold sometimes. They can also be prone to anger as well. You know, sometimes the Huntress woman really struggles in the area of like love, compassion, forgiveness, letting go, and surrendering. If they're a less evolved woman, they may also see any sort of stereotypical feminine traits like love, softness, gentleness, receptivity as less than or weak. So an unevolved Huntress woman might look down on that, even though at the same time they're trying to champion women's causes. Now, if you want to embody more of the Huntress, focus on your goals. Focus on your passion and purpose in your life. Stay focused. Don't be afraid to be bold and do things on your own sometimes. You know, be a bit more independent. Yes. Speak up, use your voice, get behind some sort of cause or movement. Even participating in more sports can help you to embody more of that Huntress energy. Next is the Sage, and she's portrayed by the goddess Athena. So the Sage is wise, loves to learn, and is usually a quick learner at that. She's organized, strategic, and she's usually very mature. Like even from a young age, she acts very mature. She's resourceful, she's practical, and in general, she tends to be ruled more by her head than by her heart. And she takes logic and practicality quite seriously. But she is the type of woman who gets stuff done. You know, she's efficient, she is smart, and she doesn't crumble under pressure. She is able to keep her cool and, you know, handle the situation. She's curious, she's good at investigating and researching, she's a good planner, she's also patient. But the most important aspect of the sage is that she is driven by the pursuit of knowledge and has a natural wisdom and intellect within her. And even though she has all those logical, practical, organized qualities, that doesn't mean she can't also be creative. And she may also love to teach as well. And similar to the Huntress, the sage woman is also more independent too. And her main top priority in life is usually not love and a partner. It's usually has to do with knowledge and her own development. Amal Clooney is a sage, super wise, very educated, grounded, elegant, respected, successful. Hermione from Harry Potter, she was a sage. She always had her head in a book. She was always learning something new. She was the smartest one in her class. Even Emma Watson herself gives off strong sage energy. You know, education was important to her. She went to an Ivy League school. She was a UN ambassador. Olivia Pope from Scandal is a sage. A lot of presidents' wives are sages actually, like Michelle Obama. She has strong sage energy. And the reason for this is that sages also make really great counselors and strategizers. And they usually play a very important role, not only in the success of themselves, but also the success of their husbands. You know that saying, like, behind every man is a great woman? That's especially true with the sage woman. She helps him to strategize and succeed. And the sage woman is also very attracted to hardworking, highly respected men in leadership positions. Now, the potential shadow side of the sage, though, is that sometimes she can be a little bit too disconnected from her emotions and her body and her intuition. And it might be hard to connect with those deeper emotional parts of herself and really tap into like any sort of passion and intimacy within her. It's just something that the sage woman has to consciously think about. You know, she has to consciously think to not get too stuck in her head and also be able to tap into her heart and the inner parts of herself. The sage woman also has the potential to be a little bit critical sometimes and possibly even a little bit intimidating because, you know, sages, they know their stuff. They're very knowledgeable in their field, and they can sometimes come off as a little bit harsh or even a little bit cold sometimes if they lack empathy, understanding, and love. Now, if you want to embody more of that sage energy though, learn. Focus on your intellectual pursuits. Focus on expanding your knowledge. Let your interests guide you to books and courses and podcasts, etc. Become wise and knowledgeable in your field. The biggest thing that you can do to tap into your sage energy is to expand your knowledge and learn new things and become so confident in what you know that you just give off this like grounded, confident, wise energy. But you can also try to be more organized, having a more organized household or a more organized way of life. This will really help you as well. Last is the mystic, and she is embodied by the goddess Hestia. So the mystic is intuitive, usually very introverted, and her biggest focus in life is her own inner peace and her own inner tranquility. And she is likely more spiritually minded or religious, but she doesn't have a big ego at all. Like, she does not focus on achievements or success just for the sake of status or anything like that. That is just not important to her. She is a homebody and really loves her home and really tries to take care of it because, again, her main focus is inner peace and tranquility, and her home is an extension of that. Another quality about the mystic, though, is that they naturally feel very warm and cozy. They give off the energy of like a comforting fire. That's how people feel when they're with a mystic woman, like they're sitting next to a cozy fire. In general, the mystic is very inward focused and is usually very creative, and it's possible that she is an artist or a writer or a photographer or something of that nature. And the competitive corporate world is not for her. Like, the mystics and hustle culture just do not mix. She needs independence to create in her own way and at her own pace. Mystics are often not portrayed in the media, and they're a lot harder to find examples for, but the best one that I've heard is that singer Shorty. You know, she just gives off this warm energy, very intuitive. Like she looks intuitive, she sounds intuitive, she seems very inward focused and soulful. And Phoebe from Friends, she's a little bit different, you know, a little bit more extroverted, but she still has a lot of these mystic qualities. You know, she kind of doesn't really care what people think. She marches to the beat of her own drum. She's a little bit quirky, but also kind of like wise and intuitive at the same time. Also, I feel like Angelina Jolie embodies a lot of these mystic qualities as well. You know, she seems very introverted. Apparently she's very into astrology. I feel like she's very into all of that kind of stuff. I don't know, she just comes off as having those mystic qualities. And same with Megan Fox. Like I feel like she's got some mystic in her as well. But the potential shadow sides of the mystic is that they might coop themselves up too much. You know, they love their alone time, but they might accidentally completely isolate themselves or be too much of a homebody. They might forget how important it is to have community and to be with friends and family. So if you're a mystic, it's okay to love your alone time, but don't forget to balance it out with time with others. The mystic can also sometimes lack the ability to be like assertive and stand up for themselves and be bold when they need to. And because they're naturally more inward, they tend to struggle with expressing their emotions outwardly and communicating their feelings and their needs and all of those things like that. And they have this tendency to naturally pull everything inward and isolate themselves when they're struggling or when they have heavier emotions. But we all need support sometimes.
Guys.
Sometimes the mystic needs to learn how to communicate and ask for help and reach out for support and love. Now, if you want to embody more of the mystic, meditate, pray, spend time alone, but quality time alone, not just like sitting on your bed, scrolling on your phone. Take a bubble bath or read a book and journal or something like that. Any sort of solo activities that put you in a Zen-like state or a flow-like state can be really beneficial for embodying the mystic. So painting, drawing, cooking, or photography, or anything artsy or creative that can...
I'm pretty sure she said cooking, but I heard hooking, and I'm just gonna leave that there.
I mean, that's real spiritual. The opposite of alone time.
Just saying.
Christy, solo activities, wink.
I mean,
yes,
that could be meditative, I guess.
Shelley, how is that going?
Oh, she posted a picture in Discord.
I haven't looked today, recently?
Like while we were streaming. It was so good.
Okay, I've turned my notifications off to save the everything. So I'll turn it back on. I'll have a look. How exciting. Yes. And Steph says that's not quite a solo activity, LMA. Fact.
Right. Okay.
Really help here. The mystic is also a little bit slower and more present in their life, so try to slow down a bit and kind of forget about time sometimes and just be in the moment. And of course, listen to your intuition. Try to hear your intuition. Try to tap more into that side of yourself. This will really help you to tap into that inner mystic. Let me know in the comments which archetype or archetypes you resonate with most, or what your quiz results were. I'll share mine in the comments as well, but I think it'd be fun if we all just kind of shared. So just remember.
Okay, she's closing out, but I want to see what her thing was. What she is.
The thing?
What her...
Oh.
She said she was going to put hers in the comments. I got to find out. Okay, hang on. Let me do that so I can do this.
And meanwhile, I'm there peering. I missed my second screen. I can see things big and jumbo here. Stupid bloody internet. Bloody hell. Bloody. But update on the phone while we're here. I'm still at 52% charge on my phone. So that's good. I think I recall when that happened, whenever that was, I didn't start with a full charge that time when I was like, oh my God, it's sucking too much of my power. And I think I might have had both screens going and had more tabs running and stuff. So
yeah, you were streaming too. Like you were doing the...
Yeah, I had that because I've only got one tab open and like on my main device. Time blind, same. I texted Ms. What the fuck today because I was charging my phone to get it up to 100 so that we could have this full charge. So I put it on airplane mode, so then I couldn't listen or have anything going. So I'm better at focusing ADHD when I've got stuff in my brain. Otherwise, I get all up in my head. And I realized, I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, fuck. So that's why we're 10 minutes late starting the Camp Shorty tonight. But because I didn't have anything to attempt to focus my brain and totally lost track of time. So did you find her thing?
No, I would have thought she would have pinned it, but she didn't pin it.
And I guess there's probably a gazillion comments.
3,000. And so I'm like, I'm not going to search there. It's too much.
I reckon, what do we think, chat? What do we think? I have a feeling that JILLZ might be a sage. Or I don't know.
Or maybe
Google?
a maiden.
A maiden? Yes. An evolved maiden, perhaps. Like less
Yeah.
Micah, more maiden. Also, Woo's was a maiden too. Yeah, Woo's, it sucks the battery life if you don't start high, and and also it's sucking my data hard. That's what she said. But it's nothing I can do. Like I considered getting an additional internet service with a different delivery mode, like 5G rather than the fiber optic cables, but I'll have to lock in for $60 more a month, which is good to have as a backup, but I'm poor. Like I am poor. So I can't really justify that. I'd rather spend that money on other things. So we're just doing it with mobile data and hotspotting the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to try and play the next video? It's 20.
Yeah. Should we do? Yeah, let's do it. We got heaps of charge. Do we want to do a song break just as a palate cleanse? People can let the dog out or go and get a drink, or I don't know, whatever Shelley does with her THC products. But I haven't chosen a song. You want to? Do you want to choose one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
you
pick
choose one. Yay. I'll do the other stuff, and I'll do the background switcheroo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work, mate. Yes, Poppy. What? I've got the front door open because it's a bit warm here. Oh my God, I can't find it. It's a bit warm here, and so I've got the front door open, and so that means that anything that happens on the driveway, the dog's like, "Hey," so they're a bit restless. Do you want me to do that? And now some music.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Okay. By the time it's done, I'll have picked it.
Oh, the pressure. It's tough, isn't it?
It is. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Now some music. The supreme leader decrees it.
Evanescent slope of grief starts high and then ends low. Smoke and mirrors alibi eventually devours you. A black hole, an abysmal vacuity. Fall in love with yourself, it's an oceanic feeling. Symbiosis, retrofusion, Wizard of Oz replete with delusion. Nothing is real, nothing is there, holding up a mirror. Separation filled with fear, vulnerable, insurmountable, nothing to see. A black hole, an abysmal vacuity. Fall in love with yourself, it's an oceanic feeling. Symbiosis, retrofusion, Wizard of Oz replete with delusion. Pattern, latitude, ostensible platitude. The learning and the yearning, rejuvenation burning. Eviscerate your sense of self, future horizon dawn. a black hole, an abysmal vacuity. Fall in love with yourself, it's an oceanic feeling. Symbiosis, retrofusion, Wizard of Oz, replete with delusion. Lived it, slept in it, falling into you. Yes, no, who, me, you and you and you. Talked it, walked in it, the bullshit, the free fall. Eyes wide open, eyes wide shut, obliterate and thrall. But no more, never ever again. Slow deep breath and count to 10.
I sing that one. Very lovely. Love that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I guess you listen to it a bit on repeat at the moment, Ms. What the fuck?
I do listen to it a lot lately.
Good night, Christy. Thank you for being here. Now, Shelley says, AI Google says JILLZ Gurin primarily embodies the sage. There you go. For teacher, wise woman, and potentially aspects of the queen and mystic feminine archetypes in her public persona. Yes. Thank you, Shelley. I strongly. Yes. Yeah, Britt. It's just dumb because this will make sense to Brit. There's apparently something to do. I don't know if it's Kogan or NBN. Like I'm with Kogan or Vodafone, but apparently it's something to do with the system. Like people have got across the network have got issues with their NBN. Some people haven't had any home internet for the whole month. What a fucking drag! I've only been a week and a half. What a drag! And they don't have any idea when the issue will be rectified. The advice that my provider gave to me was to get another modem and I can get 5G. I'm like, yeah, but then I'll be locked into 3 years worth of. No, I'm not doing that. But anyway, okay. So let's go and watch the masculine archetypes, and there's 4. It's a slightly shorter video. Here is JILLZ again. I really quite like her a lot. She's so pretty too, smart and pretty. Let's do it. Oh, look, I'm on the other
different
side now.
masculine archetypes, and they all have their unique strengths and potential weaknesses. So let's dive in and figure out which one your man is, or your dad is, or your brother is, or of course, if you're a man watching this, which one you are. Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new around here, my name is JILLZ and I talk about things like feminine energy, self-improvement, and wellness for women. So if that's something you're into, you should absolutely subscribe and stick around. So I did a video a little over a month ago all about the feminine archetypes, and that was a hit. It was super popular, and a lot of you wanted me to do a video on the masculine archetypes.
Please,
so here we are. So there are 4 different masculine archetypes.
Doesn't that suck when you do that? I do that so many times a live stream. It's just like, I'm too fast on the draw with the double click. I have looked into Starlink actually, but it was going to take a month to arrive. And it's a bit more expensive than what I have currently by about $30 a month. But I think probably my location, it might be suitable. So now that I'm not panic looking, I might look into it, and I'm sure I could cancel my existing provider if needs be. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I know Aussie Insider has some issues with Starlink, but I think that could have been to do with her trees and things, her location. So anyway, I will have a bit of a look into it. I'd love to have a backup. In a perfect world, it'd be like having a generator in my home as well as electricity, but I'm not. It's hard to justify the cost. So anyway, okay. Thanks, JILLZ. I miss what the fuck.
There's the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover. And these archetypes were originally brought to life by Carl Jung, but many people have studied them since, including Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. They wrote the book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. And so if you're looking for a book on this topic, this is a great one. I highly recommend, and of course I will link it below. And that is where a lot of this information comes from. So all of these masculine archetypes are within a man to some extent, but usually there's like one or two that he'll really resonate with. And he'll also usually embrace certain archetypes during different periods of his life as well. And so although part of the reason for this video is that it's just fun to understand a man's dominant masculine archetype, but it can also be a super powerful way for a man to tap into the different parts of himself and become a more well-rounded, powerful person. So in today's video, I'm going to share the characteristics of each archetype when a man is in the healthy version of that archetype, as well as what each archetype might look like in their shadow, so their potential weaknesses, or more specifically, what negative attributes might show themselves when they are out of balance. I'm also going to provide some examples from pop culture media because I feel like it really helps you to understand these archetypes at a deeper level and picture them. And then lastly, I'm going to share what each man can do to embody more of a specific archetype. So for example, if they want to embody more of the king archetype or the warrior archetype. So let's dive on into it. The first masculine archetype is the king, and the king and the warrior are the most like stereotypically traditionally masculine archetypes. But the king, not surprisingly, is a great leader, and one of his strengths is his ability to be calm, centered, and grounded, and provide a sense of peace, structure, and stability even in times of chaos. He focuses on reasonableness and rationality and is very emotionally stable. The king is secure in himself, and that is the biggest differentiator between a healthy king and a shadow king. A healthy king wants to lead, to help others, to guide others, and even to sacrifice for others when needed. A healthy king is also supportive and nurturing, but in a firm and clear way, and is the voice of calm and reassurance. A king is powerful and decisive, but more than anything, he focuses on stability, structure, order, peace, security, supporting and leading others. He may also have a strong desire to leave a legacy, whether that means having children or building an important business or just impacting the world greatly in some way. Now, if a man is in his shadow king though and is out of balance, then he may be controlling, just shouting orders at people, and he will be very ego focused, meaning he wants to be the king, not necessarily to help others, but because then he's the king. He's powerful, he's special, he's important, he's in control. And a man who embraces the shadow side of the king is likely very insecure. And so he'll be pushing other people down just so he can stay on top. Because at his core, an unhealthy king or a shadow king is really just a scared little boy. He will feel threatened by other powerful people. So instead of helping to guide others or help others, he will attempt to squash them. He wants people to see him as important, and he will do anything to maintain that position and that authority, even if it means putting down others. Or because he does usually feel so insecure, he might go in the complete opposite direction and be super passive, resist any sort of responsibility, just hand over power and control. Or he might fluctuate between these two, be really oppressive and controlling when he has the chance, and then be weak and paranoid in other situations. So let's think about a husband and father and use that as an example to see the differences between a healthy king and a shadow king. A healthy king will take his role as husband and father quite seriously, and he will make sure he provides security, grounded energy, stability, order when needed, leadership, decisive action, love, and support to his people, meaning his family. An unhealthy king will order his wife and kids around. When you question anything he says or does, he will be filled with rage instead of trying to seek understanding. He may even put down others in his family or squash or minimize his children's achievements, especially if they are little boys, because secretly he feels threatened by them, or more specifically, threatened by how powerful they may become in the future when they grow up. A healthy king leads with his heart, and an unhealthy king tries to control with his ego. Now, some examples of the healthy king in media would be Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. Eventually, when he chose to embrace his role as leader, he led with his heart. He was courageous, loyal, willing to sacrifice for his people. He listened to advice, but still made his own decisions. Also, Ned Stark and his son Robb Stark, they were both very much kings.
I am a king.
A Shadow King from Game of Thrones, though, would definitely be Joffrey Baratheon. He was just a tyrant and was very abusive.
I am the king!
King Leonidas from the movie 300, he was not perfect, but he does definitely embody lots of that king energy. He said he was willing to die for his men. He took the queen's input seriously and valued it, and he took his role as leader seriously. Also, this might seem like a silly example, but Mufasa in Lion King, a wonderful example of the healthy king archetype, while his brother Scar was a great example of the unhealthy version of the king. But in a more realistic sense, Jay Pritchett from Modern Family, Chris Gardner from The Pursuit of Happiness, and also Philip Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they all generally embody more of the king. Winston Churchill, you can see his king energy through his leadership in World War II. George Washington probably embodied more of that king energy as well. Now, some things that men can do to embody more of this king energy is take on leadership positions, take on more responsibility. He should try to positively impact others in some way, whether it's his family or his community. And he should focus on his mental and emotional health, because remember, the king has emotional stability, and that is really important for his success and his ability to be a good leader. And he should also just focus on being able to be grounded and calm and make clear decisions and take decisive action when needed. They also need to make sure they focus on building up a sense of self-worth and security if needed, because a man's insecurity is often what leads to the king's downfall. Next is the warrior, and the warrior is pure energy and force. He is alert, dynamic, focused, and the authors use the term aggressive to describe him, but not in the traditional dangerous way that you would think of the word, but more as in a sense that he will quickly initiate with force and power when needed. The warrior knows how to focus. He has a clear mind, and he can be very strategic and tactile. And another thing that the authors say about the warrior, and I love the way that they word it, they say that he is always awake. He is never sleeping through life. He is very aware of his own strengths and skill sets, but also aware of where he might be lacking. So he is able to process in his mind, like, okay, realistically, what am I capable of and where are my limitations? One of the defining aspects of the warrior, though, is that they are very aware that death is imminent. He is very aware that life is short and it can be taken from him like that. And that inspires him to live every day to the fullest, and so everything he does matters. Warriors are quick thinkers, quick to take action, but they don't like to exert energy when it's not needed. They don't do things just for the sake of it. You know, they don't do things for drama or to look cool or anything like that. They do something because there's a clear purpose. So this man is resilient, courageous, possibly a little bit fearless, possibly a little bit of a minimalist as well, and usually quite self-disciplined. This is the type of man who really resonates with the statement, no pain, no gain.
Good point.
And he has a sense of duty. Now, sometimes warriors will struggle with the emotional side of life. Like, he can be emotionally distant. He has almost a detached way of viewing things and living life, and sometimes that can be beneficial for him, and in other situations it won't. And it's actually very important for any man who really resonates with the warrior archetype to make sure he harnesses some of the other archetypes as well, just to be a bit more well balanced. So although we don't see this archetype played out in the traditional way as often anymore, you know, like as a warrior, as a fighter, we can see this in more modern times as the entrepreneur who is really driven and focused in his career. He is always thinking about next steps. Everything he does is intentional. His business is his clear main focus, and he might even be a little bit of a workaholic. Or this is the man who is super disciplined in his physical fitness or his schedule, and he's always kind of pushing himself for more and more, not necessarily to be highly regarded, but more so that he can be a strong force on the world. But if a warrior is in his shadow, that can be destructive and potentially quite cruel. Because he is such a strong energetic force, that can do a lot of good, but it can also do a lot of harm if that energy isn't used in the right way. They may develop a compulsive personality and almost do things to too much of an extreme. Because what drives a warrior in his shadow is anxiety, meaning that a shadow warrior will continually push himself and go nonstop because that underlying anxiety is almost forcing him to. And not surprisingly, this can lead to burnout. And so a man in his shadow warrior can either be way too intense or more cruel, or he can go the complete opposite direction, and that anxiety can manifest in him basically just being a pushover, letting others walk all over him. A perfect example of the shadow warrior expressed in both its forms is from the movie Nobody. It's a really good movie. It's one of my husband's favorite movies, but it is very gory, I will say that. But Bob Odenkirk plays this man who
I
definitely has
love
very
Bob
strong
Odenkirk.
warrior energy. But in the movie, he switches from one shadow to the other. He starts off being this total pushover and kind of just like a wet blanket almost. And then something big happens that makes everything switch, and he becomes so intense, so cool,
please, Miss What
and
the
he
Fuck?
pretty much just goes.
I wonder whether Walter White in Breaking Bad would also be I don't think I've watched all of this one. I watched all of the feminine one. I wonder, same sort of thing, right? Walter White goes from this wussy little wet rag of a guy to, well, Walter White. I will. It's fine. I should actually do it on screen to see how hard it would be. No, I wouldn't, but to see how hard it would be for me to actually take these tights off. It's quite the wrangle. But it's a sign of things to come where I sit here going, oh my God, it's so hot in here. I don't have air conditioning. Feel sorry for Shorty. The victim mentality of it all. Hi, Ms. What
During the winter. Here.
Yeah, no, sorry.
During our winter.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
But I am, but also you got to remember that when you all are going into summer, I'm also going into winter. However, your winter is like off the charts. like a little bit of frost on the windscreen for a couple of months in the morning. I'm sorry, thoughts and prayers.
My kid has never seen air conditioner in her life. And
what, don't you even have it that hot in summer?
We don't have them in Alaska.
What?
We don't have air conditioner.
Doesn't it get even that?
It doesn't have to do with it. It's that they're not reasonable to have because our summers are so short.
Fair.
And so they're not a reasonable thing to have. I've only seen one once.
Wait, what?
I don't travel that much. I saw one. I love you. I went to Arizona.
I love you so much, but I'm also going to just prior warning. It could be loud. We just learned something. So, Shorties, here we go.
It's learning time with Cam Shorty. Finding out something new every day.
And actually, we did learn stuff. We've learned a lot. So we should have played that many times. Many times. Yeah, wow. What about
we've already had snow here.
Yes, Rachel. Poor Ms. What the Fuck has been crying a frozen river, apparently.
Yeah.
About
I'm just offended by it. I'm not ready.
Isn't ND Nevada? No, that's what's ND?
North Dakota.
Oh. Yeah. I don't really know where that is on the map. North.
It's north. It's up against like Canada.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in the middle.
Yep.
In the middle of America, right? So it's land bound. Okay, fair. Huh. Look at us.
Yeah.
Also, just before we get back to the thing, definitely we'll be able to stream tomorrow. We won't do it too early, and we won't go too late. We'll just do one stream, probably just a psychology corner, maybe. I don't know. Also, what's wrong? Why all you all need to come over to Kick? It's fun. We have good times in Kick. It's fun over there. We might do a Kick thing tomorrow night, or I don't know. Anyway, TBC. But given that the hotspot on the phone is coping, we'll do something. Maybe we should. I don't want to do more court. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
It is rough.
I'm sorry. We've got this. Okay.
All right.
Goes on a rampage. Another example of the shadow warrior archetype are Nazis. You know, obviously that was an intense kind of cruelty, and I'm sure
Okay,
not
that
all
was-
of the men were
Walter
warrior
White,
archetypes, but
Nazis.
they were trained to be
I wasn't
shadow
expecting
warriors.
that.
They were trained to detach from their emotions and their empathy. And the authors mentioned in
Apparently
this book
either.
that the Nazis would actually train their soldiers by giving them a puppy to bond with and take care of and build this
Oh my
relationship with,
god.
and then they'd be ordered to kill them.
this
So
is
they were
so
trained to
awful.
completely detach from this emotional side of themselves and to become
That's
those shadow warriors.
Was
And so we
that's
can
actually
see
the
how
same
the
as
shadow
the IDF, the IOF, the Israeli Armed Forces do that, but with kittens.
We like seriously needed a total like trigger
I didn't
warning
know.
before that.
I didn't remember. I was listening, and I have watched this part, and I heard the Nazis part, and then I went into the bathroom at the exact time that she was saying that, and I didn't hear that part about the death to puppies. So sorry, chat. Sorry, Miss what the fuck. I almost called you Miss Shorty.
Whew.
Okay, so don't be a shadow warrior. That's all. That's the message. Learning.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be learned.
Does
That
not
should
need
just
to
be
be-
fucking
God.
holy shit.
That just like smacked me in the face.
That just escalated really quickly. We went from learning time at Camp Shorty to killing puppies in literally about 15 seconds.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
I don't want
Okay.
to clip that.
Click. I think that's all. That's all. I promise.
Okay.
warrior energy was incredibly violent and hurtful to the world. Also, Darth Vader, he was a warrior archetype, but definitely more of that shadow warrior archetype.
I am your father.
So the warriors are the most suppressed archetype because of how destructive they can be and because many people are afraid of them, especially women, because a lot of us have suffered or had really bad experiences because of a man being in his shadow warrior. But the thing to remember is that the warrior archetype will always be a part of men to some extent, whether we allow them to express it or not. And if we don't encourage them to express it in healthy and productive ways and take responsibility for their actions, it will likely come out in destructive ways. But anyway, some examples of the healthy warrior are Thor. I love Thor. He is a warrior at his core for sure, but he is well balanced in other areas too.
I will protect Asgard and all the realms.
Luke Skywalker, he seemed to be a bit more of a well-rounded warrior as well. Grey Worm in Game of Thrones, he's so dedicated and focused. But warriors don't have to be fighting all the time. They can also be activists or politicians, you know, somehow fighting for a change. Some warriors in real life would be Jason Statham. He definitely has that sort of attitude, as well as Jason Momoa, I think, and David Goggins as well. He's a former Navy SEAL and is super intense. He's an ultra endurance athlete.
Woo!
And now he teaches other
Stop
people
it.
about
Definitely taking my pants
perseverance
off now.
and discipline, and he's a super famous author now on these topics. Now, if a man wants to get more in touch with his warrior energy, he needs to get active. He needs to go do something with his body. He needs to go to the gym or take a boxing class, or he needs to stand behind something that he really cares about and fight for it. It's not enough that he just reads books and watches movies on warriors. He needs to get up and do. He needs to take action. He needs to focus on living each day to the fullest and taking advantage of every second he has and being more disciplined in his life. All of these things will help him tremendously. The next archetype is the magician, and the magician is the knower. He's kind of like the wise one. He is the one who understands knowledge to a deeper level. And in more ancient times, the magician could have been the shaman, you know, who knew things that other people didn't, or the wise elder who understood the deeper depths of life and passed that on to the younger men or the younger generations. Or this could have been the man who was more of the advisor to the king. But this can also be, especially in today's world, the master of technology. But the magician is a man who really prioritizes and focuses on that deeper knowledge that not everyone is familiar with. So this could be shamans and healers, yes, but this could also be doctors and lawyers, engineers, mathematicians, psychologists, inventors, entrepreneurs, especially in the technology space. Anything with information above the norm. The magician is the thinker. He is great with his mind, and he can put things together in his mind that not everyone can. He is reflective, and he's likely to be more introverted as well. And so these magicians use their knowledge to benefit others or help others, or they try to impact the world in some way with that knowledge. He compassionately wants to use that knowledge or that technology that he understands and others don't to better the world around him. Now, some examples of a magician in media would be Tyrion in Game of Thrones. He was smart. He always kind of ended up in that advisor to the king kind of role. He was always kind of guiding others or helping others.
Give him something. by giving him nothing.
Dumbledore from Harry Potter, he's the wise elder. Also, Rafiki in Lion King, he's the wise monkey that helps Simba along his journey.
Look hard.
Doctor Strange definitely has that magician energy as well. But in real life, this would be somebody like Elon Musk, very smart man, an inventor at heart, always learning something new and trying to use it to impact the world. Or Steve Jobs, he was well known in the technology space for his new inventions and knowledge. And there's also Nikola Tesla. Or this could be someone like Tony Robbins. He is regarded in the life coaching space as someone who kind of understands life to a deeper level and tries to teach others. Or on the complete opposite spectrum, there's Tyler Henry. He's a famous medium, and whether you believe it or not doesn't matter, but he apparently has this knowledge or knowing or gift that others don't. But if a man is in his unhealthy or shadow magician energy, then yes, he's probably still highly intelligent, but instead of using that to help others or guide others or teach others, sometimes people use it in a way to manipulate others or control others, or just to be greedy. Basically, he knows information that others don't, and so he's going to keep that information to himself for his own benefit. And unfortunately, we see this a lot today because we are in the age of technology. So for example, hackers, obviously they are very intelligent people, but they use that knowledge to hurt others, to harm others, and purely just to benefit themselves. Or this could be the man who refuses to share knowledge because he likes the superiority that it gives him. So the shadow magician energy, they intentionally withhold information to obtain power or material wealth. Now remember that the magician archetype is really focused on the mind. So the shadow magician can sometimes get stuck in their head. They can think too much. This can be the man who just thinks and thinks all day but never takes action. Or the magician in a shadow can be the type of man who is too passive. He doesn't actually put in the work and the effort to learn the knowledge that he's craving so much, or to become a master in a certain realm. He's just not putting the energy and the effort into things. He's not taking responsibility for that. And so basically he wants all the glory of being a magician, but without any of the work or the effort or the responsibility. And he hates to see other men succeed because he is bitter about it, because he wants that, but he's not willing to put in the effort and the action. And so when he sees that, it triggers him. Now, if a man wants to embrace more of the magician archetype, he should learn, he should study, he should take on new knowledge, he should teach or guide others in ways that he is already an expert. Since the magician gives to the world through their knowledge and intellect, you have to become knowledgeable about something. So you have to start there. And then once he feels like he can make a difference with that knowledge, then he can do that. But there is a reason why so many of the magicians in media or in real life are older, because sometimes knowledge takes time. And last but not least is the lover. The lover is passionate. He feels alive through his senses. And in general, he has heightened sensitivity to the things, people, energy that's around him. The lover is the most sensual of all the masculine archetypes, and he's able to feel compassionately and empathetically. And he can just truly feel the world around him, and he wants to experience the world around him. So for this man, physical touch is usually quite important. He's probably more intuitive than not, and he's probably also pretty good at reading people too. He can also be pretty sensitive to shifts in his environment. So for example, if someone in the room gets in a bad mood, he can probably feel that in his body. And because he generally feels more deeply than the other archetypes, that means that he may feel things like love, happiness, joy at a very high level. But in that same regard, he can also feel things like grief, suffering, loneliness, anger at a high level as well. You can't feel one without feeling the other. And of course, this is not always the case, but the lover is likely to be someone like an artist, musician, writer, actor, something more in the creative realm. Or he may just live his life in a more unconventional way. He does not have to have a creative profession, but if not, he probably will add some small spice of creativity to his work in some way. He likely really loves the finer things in life, like food or wine or craft cocktails or cigars, or maybe he collects art, or maybe he's super into classic cars. But the lover can love deeply, and they can truly care unlike anyone else. Now, of course, because of the nature of this archetype, it tends to be strongest when a man is really focusing on his love life. And many younger men are ruled by the lover archetype as well. But if a man is out of balance and embraces more of the shadow of this archetype, then he can become addicted. He can become addicted to things like food, alcohol, TV shows. He can become addicted to things that make him feel good. But as we all know, just because something feels good, it doesn't mean we should necessarily do more of it or be doing it at all. This can be the man who is literally obsessed with cars and irresponsibly spends all of his money on them. And unfortunately, a man in his shadow lover can be easily pulled off course and thrown off center. And instead of being a leader in his own life and taking control of his own destiny, he tends to get swept up and controlled by life itself. His sensitivity can absolutely be a strength, but in the shadow lover, it will cripple him and it will leave him so ungrounded and unbalanced. And he can start to feel lost and a victim to his life and his circumstances. And he can also start to get lost in his own feelings. Like sometimes he can struggle to look at things objectively and separate his feelings from reality. But in general, the shadow lover has this underlying feeling of lostness, and that is what leads to a lot of his struggles. So while this can include all the things that I just mentioned, he can also feel eternally restless. Like he is always searching for something to complete his life, but he never really finds what he's looking for, and he doesn't even really know what he's looking for in the first place. Or finally, this lostness can cause him to not feel at all. It can cause him to shut everything down, and there's no more energy or vitality in his life. And not surprisingly, this can lead to depression. Like other archetypes, the shadow lover may oscillate between these two sides. So in some moments, he may feel very intensely. He might feel controlled by them and almost have these addiction qualities, right? But then in other moments, he may feel nothing and be depressed. Now, some examples of the lover in media are Jack from Titanic, a prime example of a younger lover who's kind of enamored with a woman and her beauty and that romantic experience. Also, Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, he has a gentle side to him, an intuitive side. He's able to be vulnerable when needed. He's in touch with his heart. The lover can be an excellent leader, and Aragorn shows that.
What does your heart tell you?
Also, Jack in A Star is Born is another example. Some examples of the lover in real life, I would guess Johnny Depp for sure. Not sure if it's the healthy lover or the shadow lover, probably a little bit of both, but I think he's definitely the lover. Also, I would guess Drake. I think a lot of male musicians are lovers, honestly, as well as Ryan Gosling, probably Matthew McConaughey. They seem like lovers. An example of the shadow lover would be Jay Gatsby. He is a dreamer, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but he's unable to accept reality, and he's just enamored with Daisy. He's addicted to the idea of her though, not the actual reality of her. Now, if a man wants to embrace more of the lover archetype, then he needs to let himself feel. He needs to let himself love. He needs to let himself experience things. That's all important. But at the end of the day, remember that there should also be boundaries with this. He can take time to appreciate the finer things in life. He can be more present. He can activate his senses. He can try to woo his partner in some way and show her how much he cares. He can take up a creative activity or hobby, or just get outside in nature to disconnect from the intensity of the world and connect back to himself and his intuition. These will all be super helpful. Now, comment down below and let me know what is the dominant masculine archetype of your partner or your dad or whoever the most important men in your life are. I know for me, my husband is definitely a mix between the king and the lover for sure. But just to wrap things up and to give you a super simple takeaway, the king is the one who leads, the warrior is the one who acts, the magician is the one who thinks, and the lover is the one who feels. And so as you can see, every man to some extent needs all four of these archetypes to be a well-rounded, successful, mature, masculine man. And so in this book, the authors talk about how a man shouldn't ask himself if any of these shadow qualities show up in his life. They should ask himself how these shadow qualities show up in his life, basically implying that all men to some extent struggle with some of these shadow aspects, and it's important they bring awareness to them so they can grow and evolve from them. Now, I also have a video all about the feminine archetypes, so if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you go check it out. You can.
Oh. That was great. I love that little. Did she wrap it up the same way for the female one? I don't think she did.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, fuck, I must have been paying attention. What's wrong with me? I mean, many things. I really liked that. But that was enough. I don't know. I really like that. We might see if we can do some more of those kind of. I don't know where else we can go with that kind of vibe, but shorties, feel free to send suggestions like that my way or Ms. What the Fuck's way, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I hope we enjoyed it too. I really loved it. It's nice to have. It was fun. I like everyone did the quiz. Mike is a maiden. Oh, and thank you, Ms. What the Fuck, for making that amazing presentation with all those cool images of me. Some not so cool. No, joking. They're all cool. Excuse me. And thank you also for running things backstage. She's like, "Where are you, Shorty? Why am I not there?" Oh, a hot maiden, yes. So not sure what we'll do tomorrow night, or we might. I think I'll do one more night of Camp Shorty. It might be tomorrow night. It might be the next night. Depends if I can think of something that's fun. We'll save court for next weekend because. So make sure you got your notifications on so you can see what's happening and what it's going to be. And yes, Rachel. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ms. What the Fuck. Thank you, my beautiful mods, my friends. Don't forget to go and check out the merch store. And I don't think Hollie's still here, but Hollie, congratulations for winning the merch draw. Well, and I don't know. Let's see if we can channel a little bit of some of those the positive sides of some other archetypes to make us as women and men more rounded, and to be aware of not if that shadow aspect of our archetype shows up, but how it shows up, and maybe how we can sort of mitigate or foster the light side of it versus the dark side of it. Yes, you're very welcome, Rachel. It's lovely to have you here. To have you all here. So I love you all very much. Love you all so very much. And I will see you either tomorrow night or the next night. Be kind to one another and be kind to yourselves. That's my new thing. Mwah.
I love you all so very much. We had a blast, just chatting and stuff. Things may have gone bit off the rails. Professional when all else fails. 'Cause chat is great, so much to say. Emotes and all the caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. We're skating through all the tough things, learning about this and that, defense motions, prosecution, and narcissistic twats. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the all caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. Community, just you and me. Occasionally, Buster and Poppy. It's the whole thing. Me Shorty swing. Together we make each other happy. 'Cause chat is babe, so much to say. Emotes and all the caps out. May have been cheese, bit faster please. The time has come, Camp Shorty out. I love you all